issue that should be raised at a community council meeting. And it doesn't have to be raised in public. And you can call them up on the phone and tell them that too. I mean, a lot of times people are afraid to approach the department. You know, I'm not people here, I'm sure, but walking into a police station can be an intimidating experience. You know, it's kind of a mystery what goes on in there. It's imposing building, or second precinct, old building, that type of thing. But you shouldn't feel that way. And the captain, if you call and say you want to call back, he's going to call you back. It may not be, you know, within the 20 seconds, but you're going to get a call back. But this is the type of thing that commanders, I certainly as a commander, I want to know about. I would want to know about. Yes, sir.
First of all, thank you very much for coming. We appreciate your taking the time. Before you arrived at the meeting, most of the meeting discussed quality of life issues, which have already been brought up. Stuff like noise, stuff like littering, stuff like dumping. All of these are issues that affect our daily lives. So I have a request. I know they're well below your pay grade, but please do keep in mind that these are the issues that affect many of us in this room on a daily basis and affect our pride in our community and our willingness to live here. So that's my request. And my question is, do you have any way of gauging the captain's accountability to the people who live in this community? If we call up and make complaints about these quality of life issues, if we attend those community board meetings and make a complaint, how is there any way of ensuring that they listen to us and follow through? Is there any way that you hold precinct leaders accountable?
Sure. I mean, you know, there are vehicles to register complaints when people are not responding. Captains want to be responsive. They're measured on it, and there's a lot of ways I get feedback. There are letters. Now, the 311 system works. It's a way for us gauging quality of life issues. And about 2/3 of the complaints in the city are noise complaints. One of the problems is that when you respond, police officers respond, they tell people to turn down the radio or address it. They do that. We drive away, and they turn it up again. Now, you can give some summonses, some of it, depending on the type of noise, you need a noise meter maybe to give that summons. Now, it's not an easy issue for the police department to handle. I mean, common sense would tell you the police show up, they're gonna quiet down. You don't expect them to go back and turn up the sound or whatever, but that happens a lot. In a way, it's almost a good thing, because years ago the complaints were not about noise. They were about things that were a lot more violent and dangerous. And I worked in this area 20-something years ago, so you know it's not totally unknown to me. I have my own quality of life unit that goes out and actually takes pictures of locations, and we email it to the precinct commander. When it comes, we're a very hierarchical organization. When it comes from the police commissioner's office, people, you know, are going to address it. But I just say that to show you my concern for quality of life. When Mayor Bloomberg came in office, 2 days after he came in office, we initiated what we call Clean Sweep, which is a program of quality of life, you know, concerns that we address. And we've done a lot of it. But it's always going to be an issue, because there's always going to be some quality of life. We get 8.4 million people living together. Everybody's not going to be happy. There's going to be some quality of life. So we have to continue to address it. You have to register your concerns. 311 is a vehicle to do that, because each precinct has a computer, actually 2 computers, where the complaints of the day are registered. They have to clear it off the queue by at least the end of the night. Ideally, you respond right away. Sometimes with quality of life issues, you can't respond right away. But it is a daily issue, and something that has to be addressed on a daily basis. Now, hopefully, we're going and responding. They're not doing what this gentleman is saying. A radio car is calling in a disposition from some other location. That does not make me happy. We shouldn't be doing that. I'd like to know about it. You can send me a letter about these things. You can always send me a letter. And we do look at it. I get a lot of mail, and I don't look at every piece of mail myself. I get about 30,000 pieces of mail a year, but I have people who do that, who look through it and follow up on it. So, yeah, and your question about measuring commanders, I can assure you absolutely that their interaction with the community is an important measure in their future upward mobility. It has to be, and commanders are more aware, more sensitive to that now than they have ever been.
Thank you.
Yes.
I don't want you to tell me any secrets, but I'm very concerned about the terrorism aspect of what's going on here, because I ride mass transit about 5-6 times a week, and every time I go, I hear it's a green alert, orange alert, you know, and it makes me feel very uneasy when I leave here and go into Manhattan, because I'm afraid my luck, something will happen, I'll be stuck here, you know? So I think my question is, what can we do? I know I'm not going to see anybody just say hello and then is it just enough to be aware of things? Is it enough to report things? I mean, I'm just looking for some guidance.
Well, yeah, we haven't used those alert colors in a while.
Yeah, it's been
So, I just want, something I mentioned at the community council meeting that I should mention here in terms of transit system. In 1990, we had 50 crimes a day reported, index crimes, felonies on the transit system, subway system, and we had 3.5 million people riding the system a day. Now we have 5 million people riding the system a day, and we have 5 crimes a day reported. So the cops have done a tremendous job on the subway system. We have our own bag search regimen that no other system has in the world. We're searching bags, not all the bags, not every time, but we have to move around from location to location. But the reality is that New York is at the top of the terrorist target list. It just is. Because we're the communications capital, we're the financial capital. We've been attacked twice successfully, a third attack with a feather in their cap. So they want to come here, and they want to go here. Now, we've done more than any other city in America, and certainly probably any other city in the world, to, as I say, supplement what the federal government is doing. We have, we brought on board analysts from the top educational institutions in the country. We have them from Harvard Law School, the Tufts School of Diplomacy, Columbia. They take this information, they synthesize it, they make it digestible, and put it out in form that we can use. We have honed and refined our language skills, where we have more speakers of the sensitive languages, Urdu, Pashto, Hindi, Farsi, Bengali, Dari. These are languages that help in investigations in this day and age. We have more than any of the local agencies. We're actively, proactively involved in doing investigations.